Good morning, everybody. Coach Luis here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. Welcome to Total Body Strength. I will be your coach here for today, taking place of Coach Jazzy. This morning, we're going to get into a workout that's really similar to what you guys have been doing. We're going to get into the upper body, the lower body, the core, throw around some dumbbells. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into what we're going to be doing. We'll warm up, we'll work out, we'll cool down, we'll get out of here. So what we're going to start with here today, guys, is going to be an EMOM style workout. We're going to work for 40 seconds and rest for 20 throughout the workout. Each interval, we're going to change over to something new. And what we're going to start with is we're going to be on the ground pushing the heavier pair of our dumbbells. So usually in this class, I know that you guys usually have either the light or the medium dumbbells. Let's go with the medium dumbbells on this one. What we're going to be doing is setting ourselves up, one dumbbell on each side. We're going to do bridging and then press up with those dumbbells. So once we get them into our hands, and the elbows bent, resting on the ground here, we're going to push down through those heels, elevate those hips, keep those hips up, and then use that chest and those triceps, pressing the dumbbells up towards the ceiling, lowering them down until those elbows kiss the ground, and then we come back up with them. So this is the bridge and floor press at the same time, pushing down through those heels, squeezing the glutes, keeping that core nice and tight. We shouldn't feel any of this pressure in the low back. Remember, we don't have to push those hips up as high as possible. We want to keep them kind of slightly, ever so slightly bent, just so our spine and glutes can all kind of keep the pelvis in a neutral position. So core is really tight. This is what we're going to be doing starting off here. After that, you guys, we're going to get up onto our feet and do some rowing. So upper body pulling this time. Using those same dumbbells, we're going to get into a nice hinge position here. The butt is back, knees bent, back's nice and flat. We're going to pull those dumbbells in towards the armpits, kind of creating an L shape in the arms. Pulling those shoulder blades together, pinching them together like we're trying to crack an egg, and then slowly controlling those dumbbells back down. So that's our second interval. After that, what we're going to be doing is something called the front curled squat. So we're going to really kind of pump up the arms here today. When we get into our squat position, it can be feet about hip width or shoulder width apart. We're going to take those lighter dumbbells and we're going to kind of curl them up here so the palms are facing us. We're going to keep them in that position as we go down into a partial squat. Now you see here, I'm not getting as low as possible. That's okay. I want to come down to just below parallel and then come all the way back up while still having those dumbbells, light dumbbells curled in front here. So these are the lighter of my pair. I'm going to be using 15s and 10s. Would definitely advise going light on this one just so we can keep doing it throughout. So that's our third interval. After that, you guys, what we're going to be doing is some RDLs. So single leg, when we go with the left foot, we're going to be holding the dumbbell in the right hand. Feel free to use anything around you to support yourself, whether that's a chair, a piece of furniture, the wall, a stick. I highly advise if you're feeling a little wobbly just on one leg, use something to support yourself. We're going to be holding the dumbbell in the opposite hand. That's going to help us keep nice and square to the ground. We're going to do one leg at a time, switching over to the other after the first one. And then finally, we're going to end each round on the ground once again. So nice core exercise here. What we're going to be doing is holding those light dumbbells up towards the ceiling. They're not going to go anywhere. However, we are going to have the legs up, the knees bent. The core is nice and tight. We're going to tap one heel on the ground at a time. Maintaining that nice core tension. Getting some work here in the shoulders, just holding these dumbbells up, nice and stable. Just moving one hip at a time. Working that lower core. So that is going to be the last thing that we're doing there. And don't worry if you guys missed it. We'll take a nice, slow first round one. We'll guide you all the way through. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into our warm-up. So it's nice and early in the morning. Let's get moving. What we're going to start with is some inchworms. So Let's come to the top, right? Excuse me, the bottom of our space. We have some room out in front of us. We're gonna hip hinge a little bit here. So with those feet planted at hip width, let's push those hips as far back as we can till maybe we feel a little stretch in the hamstrings or the calves. Push them all the way back and then try and touch the ground here. It's okay if we can't touch the ground early. Just now getting stretched. This is actually feels like more of a stretch than usual for me. Let's go ahead and bend those knees a little bit, get those hands on the ground, and start to walk those hands out in front. Breathing as we go. Once we can find a nice tall plank position, let's wake up that core, just give it a nice squeeze. And then let's push that tail up towards the ceiling and start to walk those feet in towards the hands. Now we might feel a lot of calf tightness here. Just go as far as you can, bend those knees if you have to. Then we can slowly kind of roll ourselves all the way back up to standing once we get those feet nice and close. All right, let's turn it around. We're gonna do one more going the other way. Pushing those hips back towards the wall behind us, imaginary wall behind us. Let's walk those hands out. Find that good plank position, nice and high. We're warming those shoulders up. Well, let's push the tail up, walk those feet in. Don't forget to breathe. Do the best you can here. Bend those knees as needed. And we're gonna slowly roll it all the way up. Good job, you guys. Take a breath there. Let's come to the top of our space now so we have some room behind us. We're gonna go with some reverse lunges, kind of warm up the hips. So let's alternate stepping back, keeping the weight over that front leg, kind of creating a nice tripod with that front foot, making sure the knee doesn't come over the arch here. We're using that core as well. We're just trying to load up the hips here. Gonna be using the hips a lot in this workout. Good job, everybody, good job. Let's do one more each side, here we go. Squeeze those glutes, nice, come all the way back up. Good job, you guys, good job. Okay, what I'm gonna do is set the timer up. We'll get right into this workout. 3 rounds, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds to rest and transition. We'll cool down and then we will get out of here. It's gonna give us about 18 minutes of work here, you guys. Feel free as we go to use the heavier dumbbells at first and then switch over to the lighter ones or mix it up between the two. I know that's what I will be doing. We're gonna get started with that bridge floor press. So we're gonna be starting on our backs here in 3, 2, 1. All right, so typically advise the slightly heavier dumbbells for this one, you guys. We're driving down through those heels, so we're holding that bridge up, and then we press those dumbbells up towards the ceiling, control them back down until those elbows hit the ground. Here, we're trying to feel the chest and the glutes at the same time here, so make sure that those elbows are not coming down too far away from the body, but you also don't want them rubbing up against the body. Nice and controlled, we're almost done here. And time. Good job, you guys. Good job. Let's let those dumbbells down, the hips down. We're going to get up onto our feet next because we got the row coming up. So we got to get in that hinge position and then we're pulling like we're cracking an egg on the back. I'm going slightly heavier on this one. You guys can do whichever you're feeling. Let's get into it. So feet are planted, hips are back here, back's nice and flat. Then we can pull, make an L shape in that arm. Want to squeeze under the armpits as well as squeezing in between the shoulder blades. That's going to help us kind of row efficiently using all those strong back muscles that we have. Good job, you guys. Good job. Keep that back nice and flat. Don't let it round. Should be feeling a lot of tension too through the glutes and the hamstrings. Not a whole lot in the lower back. Almost done. Couple more. And time. Well done, you guys, well done. Okay, next up, definitely want to take the lighter dumbbells out here. It is that front curled squat. So we're in that curled isometric. We're coming down, kind of doing a partial squat here. Definitely an interesting one to do, but it really blasts the whole body, really works the core. All right, let's get started. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Remember, partial squat here with the palms facing you. We're not going all the way down. We're going most of the way down and then coming up. Good work, good work. It's okay if we take it down nice and slow, you guys. We want to find that good kind of bottom position, 3/4 of the way deep into our squat. Squeezing through the front of those arms. Make sure we're not shrugging. We're almost done. We got time for at least one more. And time. Good job. There we go. That is something new. All right. Next up is our RDLs, you guys. So we're starting with that right leg. The right leg is going to be planted. We're going to be holding the dumbbell in the left hand. Remember, feel free to use any type of support here. We want to make this movement nice and smooth while we can. All right, let's get into it. So right foot planted, hips are squared to the ground. We're coming over, hinging at the hips, and then using those glutes and those hamstrings, pulling us all the way back up nice and tall. Really helps to have the core tight here, guys. That way we can really isolate that glute, that hamstring. Strong exhales as we go are gonna really help us find those core muscles. Let's keep it up. We got 10 seconds. Other side coming after this. And time. Good job, you guys. Good job. Way to push. All right. Next leg coming up. Left foot is planted. Means the dumbbell is going to be in the right hand. A few more seconds of rest. All right. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Use that foot as a tripod. Try and grip the ground with the foot. Even if you're using support, it's always good to practice. Good job, you guys. Nice, strong exhales. Do the best you can. If you want to challenge yourself, you guys can obviously go with no support. Just make sure it's not too wobbly if that's what you're doing. We want the quality to be there. Excellent work, you guys. We got a couple more here. And time. Good job, you guys. Okay, coming up next, we're on our backs for that core exercise, and then we'll stay there for the start of round 2. So we're gonna have the dumbbells straight up, and we're just moving those hips. Feel free to go with the heavier or lighter here. 3, 2, 1, push them up. Then let's get those hips up. Here we go. We're tapping one heel at a time. Core's got to be really tight. Strong exhales are going to help here. Pressing those dumbbells away from the ground, you guys. Don't let the back of those shoulders rest. Great work, you guys, great work. Tapping one heel at a time here. We're almost done with round 1. And time, good job. All right, control those dumbbells down. One on each side. Great work, you guys, great work. Okay, 1 round is down. We got 2 rounds to go. We're starting on the ground again. Floor press, heavier dumbbells advised here. All right, we're gonna get started here in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're driving down through those heels. Hips come up first. We're squeezing those glutes. Then we press those dumbbells up towards the ceiling, control them back down until those elbows just kiss the ground. Good job, you guys. Don't lose sight of that core tightness or that glute squeeze. Keep it going. Good work here, good work. About 10 seconds left. Keep that squeeze going. And time. Nicely done, everybody. Okay, let's come up to our feet. We got the Hinged row coming up next. Gonna be bent over here, guys. Pulling with those arms. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, first, let's find that good starting position. We're pushing the hips back. We're slightly bent at the knees. Back is nice and flat. Core is tight. Then we can pull those arms into an L shape, crack an egg on the back with those shoulder blades. Want to squeeze through those armpits as well. Using all the muscles around the shoulders. And on the back. Good job, guys. A few more pulls here. And time. Nicely done. Let's squeeze those glutes, stand on up. All right, you guys. So front curled squat coming up next. Let's grab those lighter dumbbells. Let's get into that position. Ready to squat here in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we got the stance set up. Dumbbells are curled. We're trying to go down as deep as we can go and then all the way back up. So core's got to be really tight here. We can't let the weight of those dumbbells come out of that front curled position. We're not shrugging. Blasting those arms here, guys. Getting those arms ready for the beach this summer. Good job, guys. Good job. A couple more here. Keep those dumbbells in nice and close. Last one. Here we go. Let's get down. And time. Nice work there, you guys. Nice work. Okay. Up next are RDLs. So we're starting with that right leg. We're going to be holding the dumbbell in the left. Remember, it's okay to use some support. We're going to start here in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. As you come down, you guys think about keeping those hips nice and square to the ground. Want to blind the ground with the imaginary headlights that we have attached to the front of our hip. Good job, guys. Good job. Use the foot to grip that ground. We want to feel it all around the hip here. Almost done. Excellent work, guys. Excellent work. Come on. One more. And time. Good job, everybody. All right, we can put one dumbbell down. Let's rest for a moment. Shake out those arms. Shake out those legs. Left side coming up. So we're holding the dumbbell in the right. Let's start here in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pushing those hips back. Slight bend in that left knee. Keeping that core tight, you guys, is also going to help with our balance here. The more tension we can create typically means we're going to have a little bit more control. That's why gripping the ground with the toes and everything else is really important. Way to work here, you guys. Couple left. And time. There we go, you guys. Okay, finally we're ending with that core exercise, that hip movement. Let's lay all the way down onto the ground. All right, you guys, let's press those dumbbells up here in 3, 2, 1. Dumbbells up in the air. We're not shrugging. Legs are now up, core is tight. We're just tapping one heel at a time, only moving from the hip. You shouldn't feel that knee bend at all. Good job, you guys. Good job. Way to push. Keep the pressure on those dumbbells. Don't let them get relaxed in those shoulder joints. Strong exhales are going to help us here, guys. A few more reps. And time. Safely lower those dumbbells down. We can hang out here on the ground. Start around 3 is happening on the ground here, guys. Final round, now we know what to do. Let's do it a little bit better, maybe a little bit quicker. Maybe you grab those heavier dumbbells. Either way, let's go ahead and get into it. Heavy dumbbells here for the floor press. Let's drive with the heels, get those hips up. Then we can press. Big squeeze through those glutes. Big squeeze through the chest. On the way down and up with those dumbbells, you guys. Good job, you guys. A few more seconds. Let's keep pushing. And time. Good job. All right, let's come down. Bring those hips down, dumbbells down. Time to stand all the way up. We got our hinge row coming up next. Let's try and go with the heavier dumbbells here. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's get into that good starting position first. Hips back, back flat. Then we can pull. Pinching those shoulder blades together, you guys, squeezing through those armpits. Good job. Hold that pinch for a second too. If you're not exactly feeling it, hold it. We're gonna find those muscles. Keep that core tight, you guys. Strong exhales are gonna help us keep that tension through the midsection. Great work. A couple more. And time. Good job, everybody. Good job. Okay, let's rest those dumbbells for a sec here. Up next is our front curled squat. If you guys are feeling confident, let's grab the heavier dumbbells. Keep them curled nice and close. If not, totally cool. We're going to get started either way here in 3, 2, 1. All right. Remember, we're not going as deep as we can. We're just going down 3/4 of the way, keeping those dumbbells curled right in front. Good job, guys. It's okay if we're moving a little slower. We just want to move quality. Great work. Almost done. We got a couple more in us. Let's go. Last one here, guys. And time. Good job. Great work there, you guys. Shake out those arms. Whew. All right, RDL's coming up next, and we're going to end with the core. Right foot is going to be planted, so left hand gets the dumbbell here. All right, let's get into it. Plant that foot. Let's start to move. Good job, you guys. By now, it's probably starting to look a little bit better than how it did in the beginning. Do the best you can. We're using those hamstrings and those hips. That is the driver of the movement here. Squeeze that glute until those hips are right back under us when we stand all the way up. Got at least one more in us here. And time. Great work, guys. Great work. Okay, time to rest. Shake that leg out. Grab some water. Left side coming up next. All right, we're going to get started here in 3, 2, 1. Left foot planted. Right hand dumbbell. Let's finish nice and strong here, you guys. Usually the left leg is not everyone's dominant, but let's go ahead and make it that for this interval. Nice strong breaths here, you guys. Keep those hips nice and square to the ground. Core is tight. We got a few left in us. One more here. And time. Good job, you guys. Good job. Okay, we're on our backs for the last one here. Let's try and use those heavy dumbbells. Core exercise for the final 40 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's press those dumbbells up. Then we can get the legs up. Glue that lower back to the ground. Now let's move through the hips. Good work, guys. Strong exhales here. You're in the final frame. Remember, stay active with those dumbbells. Keep pushing them towards the ceiling. No shrugging. Almost done here, you guys. Couple more left. And time. Safely lower those dumbbells down. Plant those on the ground. Whew. All right. Great work there, you guys. Great work. Okay, so we still got a few minutes left. Got to cool down before we get on to the rest of our day. So I'm going to shut the timer off where that goes off. All right, stand up for a moment, grab water if you need to. We're going to stay in standing for our first cool down thing. All right, so we're just working a lot of muscles all over the body. Let's go ahead and plant those feet about shoulder or hip width apart. Take those hands, interlace them behind the back here. We're gonna let them get real heavy like we were holding a heavy dumbbell, pulling those shoulder blades back and together, puffing out the chest just a little bit. Let's go ahead and breathe into the front of that rib cage. Pushing out a nice, long, slow exhale. This is how we're going to calm ourselves down. Slow the heart rate down. Get ready to get some post-workout nutrition in, whatever that looks like for you. Let's do a couple more breaths. One more. Here we go. All right, after that exhale, we can slowly release those hands. Let's come back down to the ground here. We're gonna do one more thing down here on the ground in our space, and that is gonna be some cat camel. So we're gonna move through the spine. Let's plant those hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips here. We're gonna start by letting the head hang towards the ground, pointing the tailbone to the ground and letting the back arch up, kind of creating a big hill out of our back. We're pushing away from the ground with those arms. Take a deep breath in this position. And we'll slowly switch the opposite. So we're bringing the head all the way up to try and look forward. We're pointing our tailbones up towards the ceiling. And then we're finally creating a big valley out of the middle of our back. So let's go as far as we can comfortably in this position. Take a nice deep breath. And then we can slowly just start to alternate between these two positions. So don't move fast. You don't have to move super slow. But the point is to, slowly and comfortably get to as much end range as possible each way. And each time we kind of have a new opportunity to push it a little bit further, as long as our body is talking back to us saying it's feeling okay. Breathing in these positions is important. So don't hold your breath. I know it's not the easiest to breathe like this, but do the best you can. Pause in each of these bent positions. Good job. Good job, you guys. Coming up, let's do one more each way to close it out. So letting that head hang, pointing the tailbone down, big hill with the back. And then finally, we're going into that valley. So tailbones up, heads up, trying to look forward. Good, and let's come back to the middle. Let's meet in the middle. Good job, you guys. Find that way to find that neutral spine. Perfect. We are ending right on time. That is all the time I have left for this class here today. Thank you guys for coming and joining me on this nice early morning. A little bit of a switch up this week with myself and not Jazzy. You guys will also be seeing me later in Exercise with Exos. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Hope to see you all soon. Stay safe out there. Coach Luis signing off. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank
Great work,
you.
you guys.